Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Sarah Taylor. I upload every single week, vlogs on Sundays, everything else on Tuesdays and Thursdays, hence this video on a Tuesday. This is in line with, if you did not see my New Year's resolutions and goal setting video I did, that was my last day of Vlogmas of 2020. It was my last video of 2020 on account of it going up on December 31st. But I said in that video that every single month for this year, for 2021, I want to do a monthly goals video at the beginning of it, and then at the end of the month do a recap and like kind of how did I do, right? And then basically throughout the year, we can kind of, you can follow along and maybe do this with me, but you know, with your own goals, obviously. Just to keep the momentum up, to keep us motivated, to keep us on track, achieving what we want / need to achieve, etc., etc. So this falls in line with a question I get asked a ton. I get a ton. So whether it's in comments or on Instagram DMs or through friends or whatever, how do you do this? How do you stay on? What do you use? How do you? Because I have a lot of goals. I'm super goal oriented as a person. I don't like not hitting them. So there's just a lot that I juggle, and to stay sane / calm is imperative, especially as you get older, because then you gotta like talk to your doctors about that kind of shit, and ain't nobody want to have that conversation. So yeah, so I thought let's start off the year with just my monthly goals, and then I'll follow that up with my tools, my planners, all of that kind of stuff, things that I use to kind of keep me going. What I actually use for that stuff, that'll be a separate video, but don't worry, that is coming. So if you didn't see that video, my like entire like New Year's goals and resolutions, basically I have 10 goals and resolutions that I want to achieve for the year. And my approach to that is I want to tackle them in like kind of like monthly chunks. So what am I doing every month to where I'm hitting those goals, right? So those 10 get broken down into 10 monthly goals. And that way over the course of the year, I have touchstones for how am I doing, how's it going, you know, am I slacking, and then I can pick up the pace, or I can do whatever I need to do, pivot intentionally. You get my drift. So let's get started. I'm actually really excited because I already did some of this stuff. So I have multiple things that I use to keep me on track. So you're gonna see me kind of referring to different things. It's just so I keep my head on straight. But I'll tackle those in a separate video. Things I want to achieve this month. I want to read at least 2 books. I know that it can sound easy. I have a lot to do every day. So like reading 2 full books for me a month, that's actually a reasonable goal. I would love to read a book a week, but I don't want you gotta keep in mind a few things. One is I'm virtual schooling 1st and 4th grade. Jeremy's home. Normally he's traveling. So he's like, not like exclusively traveling, but like normally he travels a lot for work. There is just a lot of things that consume my time that I have to account for. And this isn't me bitching about it. This is just like, there are 24 hours in a day for everybody. I cannot be 3 different places fully present in 3 different things. There's just no way that's sustainable at all. So 2 books for the month I feel is a reasonable goal for myself. Again, I'd love to shoot for 4, but like I don't want to disappoint myself. So yeah, I want to do 80 spin classes. That's again, that also sounds kind of nuts, but I do Peloton. If you're new here, I have a Peloton. I'm a very, very big Peloton fan. So 80 spin classes can sound like intense. It doesn't have to be a 45, 60-minute class. That is more aligned to, I have a goal to hit by my birthday. So in order to hit that goal, 80 is what I need to achieve in the month of January. Now, I'll be honest with you, 80 classes, if you do a warm-up, a cool down, and a ride, that's 3. Do whatever you need to do, but that's one of my goals. I also want to hit 200 stretch and 150 strength for like my Peloton. I did sign up for something called Open Fit. They have a program, I believe it's called Extend, just like X-Tend bar. Peloton bar was like a brief little moment for them, and they never expanded on it. So I really loved bar. I used to take it religiously. I adored it. So I definitely noticed how much I loved it, but like I don't want to just keep taking the same, you know, 10 classes that of varying lengths. So I went ahead and I have that now. I have an annual membership to it. So with any luck, I'll kind of fold that into my mix. But yeah, so that's on my list. I want to at least try it. In terms of nutrition, I want to try 3 low-carb dinners weekly and 1 new homemade dinner weekly. So Jeremy and I both, because we just didn't like physically move as much, right? Because we can't go anywhere. We're high risk. If you're new here, we're high risk in a pandemic. So like we have, and we live in Texas. Texas is just not taking this seriously. So we have to be extremely cautious. And as a consequence, just the physical act of not doing something and not going somewhere and not whatever, that has an effect on your basal metabolic rate, right? So we obviously have gained some weight in 2020, and I'm 5'4.5". He is 6'5". So like I don't have the give that he does when it comes to meals. Like it shows up a lot quicker in me. So I really want to try low carb dinners, but I don't want it to be done in this like kind of punishing way where it's just like reeks of, you know, deprivation and sadness. Like, no. So I want to kind of find a way to do low carb but delicious. And then we both, you know, back when we were single, we both had our ways to like drop weight quick. It doesn't really work together because he basically did like keto and I did like, I'm a pescatarian, so I did like high protein pescatarian dinners that were like salad bowls essentially, and like he would eat it, but then he would eat ice cream after, right? And that's just kind of not the point. So I need to like experiment. I need to really explore how do I feed us and keep us satisfied and not just like miserable or whatever. And I also love cooking. So part of it is I want to try a new meal. Hopefully it's a success, otherwise, but it's just kind of finding a way to like braid stuff together, right? That's really what it is. I also want to plan my spring garden. I'm a beginner gardener. I started last year. I love it. I really have taken to it. It is absolutely one of the best things that came out of last year for me. So I have my seeds, and I'm gonna establish a cut flower garden this year as well. So hopefully, I've gone ahead and I've already ordered some books and stuff to help me kind of wrap my head around some of the gardening stuff I need to accomplish this year now that I've had a little bit of a skill underneath me. But yeah, so I want to at least plan out my spring garden this month. I want to do daily self-care. So self-care to me isn't a face mask. It isn't, or like exclusively, it isn't, you know, yeah, like what is it that people talk about all the time? Like a bath and a face mask. It can be. I don't need that every single day. Baths for me are medicine for my back. So like I get in a bath when my back is bad. I'm going to be taking down my Christmas decor, so I anticipate being in a bath kind of a lot that week, but it's much more about making sure that did I read? Did I do something that to me felt like self-care? As long as I did that, I'm good. Historically, I have struggled with that. Historically, I am somebody who, I have 75 million things I need to get done today. I can lose that. And what happens is over a few days, over some time, I'm not as good. I'm not as sharp, I'm not as kind, I'm not as patient. So I really am not as good without it. I need to make sure that it's a priority. I need to assign it a proper enough value that I take it seriously, and that, not that there's some sort of punishment if I don't do it, but the lack of doing it kind of is that, right? Where you're just like, ugh, I feel like hell. So yeah, do it daily. This is a weird one, but it was one I really wanted to do. I really wanted to upgrade our vitamins. if you watched any of my morning routines or saw whatever, I don't know, I think it's been in a couple of videos where I talked about our vitamin consumption. I am 35, Jeremy is 40. We have both, he no longer has a gallbladder. I no longer have an L4, L5. He has a cardiologist. We are just a hot ass mess of people. So but we both also, we're not lazy. We're both like very active, busy, you know, going people. So one of the things I noticed was we were like kind of cocktailing stuff throughout the year. Like, oh, we need to take, Fauci told me to take vitamin D. Okay, I need to get, what is the thing I take for migraine prevention? It starts with magnesium. Okay. Oh, fish oil. Cardiologist, I need to take fish oil. Okay. We should have a multivitamin. Okay. And the thing is, there wasn't a consistency with the quality standard. It was just, this had a lot of high reviews or this, whatever. So I was like, ugh, no. And I had a Hum subscription for like over a year. Prior to that, I was on that Alani Nu, what the hell is it called? The girl thing, the vitamin for the women. I don't know. It's something from them. I did that for like a year and a half, and then I just kicked it because I was like, I don't, whatever. And it was just because it was just kind of all over the place, and I had random, like, Hum would charge me, and then this would, and I'm like, ugh, no. So I really wanted to just centrally locate our vitamins. And so what I decided to do was I bought the Total Human like kit. It's like a box. It's a subscription you can get from Onnit, O-N-N-I-T. And I went ahead and I got two, one for each of us. And they have, every day is 2 packs. It's an AM and a PM. And it's just supposed to handle like all of it, right? Just all of you. And so I wanted to get that. A, I want to see if it does anything. And B, I want to see if having uniform quality standards, if it's easier, if it's better, whatever, right? Like, I just wanted to like kind of upgrade that, if you will. The other thing, a few other things I wanted to do, I want to learn something useful, take any masterclass, etc. Now, that is like a ton for me this month, specifically in January. Here's why. Because we're trying to cut down, so I want to take this. I want to take this one Thomas Keller masterclass. It's been on my mind. I want to get it done. It's that if you have a masterclass subscription, it's the one where he does, I think, seafood and sous vide. I want to take that one. And then there is just like a limitless amount of stuff I need to learn about YouTube. So like lighting and editing and all the things. Just there's a ton. And so I hired a designer. Well, hell, at this point, it's been like a month and a half ago. And I still haven't gotten my stuff yet, and that was supposed to be in by the end of the year. So whenever that comes, I'll kind of retroactively implement it in whatever way I can on videos that I've already uploaded. But I wanted to take it seriously. I want to put more energy towards it, especially with what I've learned from last year. But that's just like a huge mountain of a project. So I just want to like chip away at it. So there's a whole lot of stuff I need to learn, specifically in the YouTube like world. And I mean, it is like literally, it's like shooting in the dark. Like you don't even know which way you're going, right? Like it's a lot. So at least for me, it's a ton to understand. So I want to learn something useful that I can apply and I can have homework in. So for example, it's so like indicative of just like I have a lot of stuff. So I need to actually apply what I'm doing. So if I'm doing the Thomas Keller, that'll come through in that meal a week, that new meal a week. With my YouTube, y'all will see that. Is my editing better? Did my lighting look better? Did this happen? Did whatever, right? XYZ happen? Great. So feedback would be deeply appreciated. But yeah, so you get my drift with that though. Like I want to learn something useful that I can, because I have so much shit I want to try to achieve that like it needs to matter now, right? I need to be like weaving this stuff in. And then another thing I had, lastly, I want to upgrade my laundry room. And so what I mean by that, both literally, I want to like upgrade the laundry room. I like our machines, fine, but like the setup, the layout, how I actually use the space is frustrating. So I want to like kind of brainstorm a solution. I want to actually upgrade all my tools, detergents, kind of take the laundering itself more seriously. It falls in line with my New Year's resolution I had about upgrading my Cinderella time. So the laundry room for that is like a really easy place to start, right? It's an immediate turnaround in terms of, did this work? Has this been a positive influence? Was this a good use of my time? So yeah, so those are my goals. They're kind of all over the place, but it's my whole life that I tend to make goals that are 360 for my life. I don't ever want to feel like I'm good. I want to keep trying, right? So that's just me in general. So it makes sense that it shouldn't shock you if you know me that I'm like all over the place with, oh, I want to do this and that and this and that, right? That's very normal. So that's what my 2021 like objective list looks like. How I plan to achieve that. Now, I like kind of like what I was saying with the weekly homework stuff like that. I have weekly check-ins with myself. So here's what my weekly goals are, and I basically try to hit in with all of those. So I've got like my 10, okay, so what can I be doing to keep me on track, to keep me going, to get me closer to what I'm trying to achieve. And then how did I do? So similar to what I was saying in the beginning about how I've got my annual like umbrella goals, and then every month I've got, here's how I'm gonna hit that, or here's when I get closer to it. Every week I'm gonna hold myself accountable to, okay, what did I do to achieve that goal? Am I on track? What do I need to do differently next week? Am I crushing it? Can I allocate time to this now? Etc., etc. Again, some of those goals are super easy, like the vitamins. That's a one and done. That's like a transactional goal. Some of those goals are obviously longer term, and then so on and so forth, right? But ultimately, it's going to keep me making progress, making headway towards my North Star, and that's really what I want to do. I have some like, I'll talk about this kind of like the going back and forth between the two things. I'll talk about why I do this versus this for whatever in that planner and tools video, but I did add some like extra stuff on my list in my weekly check-ins that are kind of transactional goals. So if you saw my New Year's resolutions and goals, one of them was I want to order I want to make thank you cards. And so, okay, that's easy enough to do. I want to make them, I want to use them. So what do you have to do first? You have to make them, right? So one of my goals for the month was I need to make thank you notes. I need to order stamps, and I want to research note sealer options. Oh, it's something else I said to myself was I want to have daily self-compliments, like every day. Actually, I have not done that yet today. I need to say something I like about myself every day, because that kind of falls in line with that daily self-care thing. Did I even think about myself today? Because there are 100%, there are days where I'm like, it'll be 9 o'clock at night and I'm like, did I think about myself past the point of I need coffee, like my needs, I need coffee, I need to go to the bathroom, I need to whatever, right? Like, did I actually take stock of who I am and what I actually not just like need to survive, but need to thrive and actually feel good? So that is something that is actually a bizarrely difficult challenge for myself, because it's just not an intuitive thing. So it's kind of teaching me to change that a little bit. So yeah. And then one last thing, I set a goal for myself for morning pages daily. It's January 1st. I did not do that today. That's okay. It's okay. In fairness, it's New Year's Day and we drank a lot of wine last night. So I didn't get up until like 11 o'clock this morning. So it's all right. Like it is what it is. I'm fine with it. I'll make up for it. It's okay. But I don't want to make it a habit. It's more about implementing, not implementing, changing the habits, right? So yeah, to recap, I want to read at least 2 books. I want to hit certain numbers for my spin, stretch, strength classes. I want to try that open fit bar out, see if that works. I want 3 low carb dinners weekly. I want 1 new homemade dinner weekly. I want to plan out my spring garden. I want to upgrade my laundry room, upgrade my vitamins, take a new class or learn something useful, make thank you notes, order stamps, research note sealer options, daily self-compliment, daily morning pages. Oh, weekly measurements. I don't have a goal in terms of weight because I just like don't know, right? Like I'm like, I don't know, let's see how it goes. But measurements I feel like is healthier. So I did measure myself this morning. So weekly measurements, see how that's going. I want to feel better with Premiere Pro, which is my editing software. And then I wanted to buy soft boxes, and that happened today. So I've already achieved some of the goals, and I'm still on the first day of the year, of the month, well, in year. So yeah, so that's how we're doing. If you are interested in tagging along with me, by all means do so. Please feel free to share your goals, your resolutions, things you want to achieve, whether it's for the whole year or this month. I will circle back at the end of the month to see how I did. How did I accomplish? What did I accomplish? What hiccups did I find? How can I pivot for the next month? We're all on a journey, and one of the things that I really learned last year was, it was a resolution of mine last year, was how I approach time and the fluidity of time and the amount of change. And I ended 2020 totally not where I thought I would, but I ended it with a much more clear understanding of control of time, right? Like time will pass whether or not you want it to. It's just gonna do it. But what can you actually control? And that actually wound up being one of the best things I learned. So that was way better than the resolution I'd actually set for myself. So I will check in at the end of the month and let y'all know how I did. I will have a planners and tools video up for you as well in the very near future. I'm also planning on having my empties video done for you as well. So don't worry, there is like makeup and beauty and skincare and all that kind of content coming. Fret not. It's all getting done. It's all getting done. Nothing's getting neglected. All systems are a go. We're on track. So I got you. Also, if you want to know, I just out of curiosity, if I have plans to do video on each of the rooms that I kind of tackle, the spaces, I should say spaces that I tackle. So my laundry room, for example, I will do a video on that before, after, the journey in between, etc. So if you are interested in that and like the subsequent spaces that I tackle, let me know, because I want to see. I feel like as I age, I kind of discover how important Martha Stewart was to us all. So, you know, I want to see if y'all are interested in that, then I'm happy to share whatever I am doing just to keep everything moving, you know, like the house, me, my brain, all that, right? So, yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.